Good day. Today's total body fitness is going to be a core focused class. We will incorporate all body parts, so don't think we're just going to lie on the floor and do a bunch of sit-ups, because that's definitely not what we're doing today. So without further ado, let's get started. We are going to just do a little warm up with just moving the body from right to left, just kind of swaying if you're at a dance party or something and you're just kind of moving to the music. And here what we're looking to start to feel is not only the transfer of weight from one foot to the next, but also just a little bit of spinal movement as you kind of sway. You'll even put your hands right onto your abdominal area and you'll feel them already start to work, even though you haven't even, you won't really feel a core workout yet. That's your side obliques firing up on each side as you go. 4, 3, 2, 1, and now let's turn and twist this, adding a little bit more rotation. Be gentle and slow. Four, 3, 2, 1, keeping with the sway type of movement, but now we're going to reach and sway, slowing it down a little bit more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now just stand here and shake the legs, jiggle and wiggle. Make it all vibrate. Trying to just get some blood flow and getting some vibration through the body. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Now just shake out the legs. Now we're going to do little heel bounces, pretending you're jumping up and down, but without the actual jump. You're going to feel your calf start to work a little bit. You're doing mini calf raises. We're also building some bone by creating a little bit of compression through the joint. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake out those legs. Now we're going to high knee march, just marching in place. And then see if you can start to pick the knees up higher. That will slow down your pace. That'll also make your abdominals have to work a little harder as you're working towards balance. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Do a quick stretch of the quad. You can hold on to something, grab a foot and release. All right, we're going to do one more standing exercise before we get down on the floor. Today we will go up and down several times throughout. So if you feel like you need to just stay in one of the positions, please do that, okay? So we are going to touch a foot back and then you're going to bring the knee up for a drive. Now, if you feel like you're still not ready to do it without holding on, you can hold on with one hand, point a foot back and drive. We'll do 10 on one side, 10 on the other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we change. Extend back, drive up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're going to come down onto hands and knees. We're going to do a little calf stretch into bird dog. So starting in your tabletop position, you're going to extend your right leg back behind you and gently stretch the back of the foot and the calf. Then you'll come back up to center. You're going to tighten up that right leg and lift using your glute. I want you to come light onto your left fingertips and just hover the arm over the mat. And change. Starting with that calf stretch, left leg extends back and gently stretch backwards. And then coming to center, you're going to tighten up that left leg, squeeze the quad, and then lift from the glute. Then your right hand, we're going to lightly hover. And take a rest. We're going to do a child's pose into a forward shift. When you forward shift, you're going to feel like your hips are coming forward, but not all the way down into a cobra. We're going to keep them lifted, but not high. So we're going to go forward into like a mini plank on the knee, and then shift back into a child's pose. The whole time, if you can keep your arms reaching straight out in front of you, that is great. But if you need to modify those arms for your shoulders, you do that. So we're going to shift forward and back. And some of the things you want to think of here is long spine and shoulders wide, shoulders, chest proud. Long spine, shoulders stay wide. And let's do one more. And take a break. We're going to come onto the back now. Here is where you're going to use your small ball. If you happen to have one of these, or if you have a larger ball, that works as well. We're going to basically roll the ball out and roll it in, but without using the hamstrings. Most of the time we do an exercise like this. The hamstrings, we push down into the ball and we activate underneath the leg. Today, I'm asking you not to really try to push down, but I'm trying to use the front of the thigh, your hip flexors and your core, so it feels more of a lifting action. And it's a lifting action, and we're trying to keep it as steady without any like swaying from side to side or movement. We're going to try to do it very linear. Let's see if we can do this, right? Okay, come here, Ray, over here. So the trick is when you got a small ball is getting both your heels on that ball and then lying down onto your back. Watch out, bub. There we go. And then from there, I'm trying to keep my toes up, my body steady. Even just trying to hold this is a challenge. And then you're going to try to lift, keeping your toes up. And I'm not even going all the way up because I run out of ball, and then extend the legs back. I'm not pushing down into the ball. I've got a long spine, broad shoulders, and I'm trying to stay steady and controlled. It is not that easy to do. I'm trying to lift from my thighs, my abdominals, and my hip flexors. I do like a neutral spine in the back versus pushing the lower back into the floor. But don't let it relax and pop up and get a big gap here. We want to feel like we are coming towards the floor with the whole spine, but not necessarily pushing the whole lower lumbar in. See if we can do a few of these together. We pull in, keep steady, and extend. Pull in, steady. You should feel your hip flexors and your thighs start to work. If you don't, just keep doing it. Eventually you will feel it. Try not to use your hamstrings. Not yet. We're not doing that one yet. We don't want to feel the pelvis tilt either. So I am just trying to keep this all in the leg. And then when you need a break, you're just going to bring your feet to the mat and move the ball out of the way and do some windshield wipers, nice wide feet, and roll the knees from side to side. Alrighty guys, you're gonna roll back up and we're gonna stand back up. Here's where you're gonna need your blocks. Whew. Now we're gonna start in the second position. We're gonna do some plies. You're gonna bend the knees and the toes are going out to the side. So now we are continuing to work the inner thigh, but now instead of feeling more of an internal rotation, we're going more of an external rotation. Plus we're starting to work up the quads. And then straighten the legs to take a break. We're going to stay in this position. We're going to bend the knees and we're going to side bend. We are looking to work the core here. So bend your knees just a little bit and try to keep your chest forward. So even though you're bending to the side, try not to turn forward towards that leg. You're going to stay side and side. Feeling the stretch. Even though I'm going to the side, I'm not thinking down. I'm thinking lift up. And use the muscles in my core and in my back. Plus, you're going to feel your thighs work. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten your legs and turn your toes forward. I'm going to scoot back just a little bit and center myself. You're going to have your blocks out in front of you so that when you do touch down, your back is flat. If I turn to the side here, I'm positioning my block so my back is flat and my knees are soft. From here, you're going to bring your hands to your hips and you're going to rise up. You're going to come down, touch the blocks, apply pressure into the block, shift back, hands to hips, and rise up. We're just getting a little bit into the hamstrings here and feeling that we're going into a half forward fold. Soft knee, half forward fold, hands to the blocks, a little shift forward to apply pressure into the arms, bring it back and rise up. Let's go again, half forward fold, hands to blocks, bring it forward. Let's rise back up. I'm going to show you now what you're going to do next. We're going to do a rotation with the hand on the block. So you're going to come down. You're going to bring the hands down, shift forward, and then you're going to leave one hand on, and you're going to twist, reach towards the sky, and then switch, turn, reach towards the sky. Hands come down, shift back, hands to hips, and rise up. So let's do that twice together. Forward fold, creating a stretch, taking a little bit of a break, creating a rotation, and a rotation. Then hands to hips, feeling those spinal muscles work, core has to work, and the hamstrings are now working as well to rise up. Going again, forward fold, hands to block, gonna reach arm, turn, reach arm, shift the weight back, hands to hips, and rise up. Let's bring the feet together and shake it about. Now you only need one block. So what we're going to do is we're going to push down into that block as hard as we can. The feet will be just kind of in a normal shoulder width stance. You're going to bend your knees and you're going to push into the block. You place it wherever it feels best to you. If you're going to put it in your right hand, it's going to be near your right foot. And then you're going to use your core strength and your shoulder. Your shoulder comes away from the ear, and I'm using my core to try to push my block. I'm trying to make it smash down into the floor. Now I'm not just leaning into the block, I'm not just leaning, I'm actually using my core to push into that block. We'll hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stand up, recover. and you'll do the other arm. Your left hand on the block, knees are bent, shoulders away from the ears, strong arm underneath. You're going to feel underneath your armpit and your lat work. Core pushes for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Whew. All right, guys, we're going to come back. We're going to do an exercise like that in a little bit, but first we're going to come back down onto the mat because it's always a good idea to get up and down off the floor as many times as possible, because that's the goal, is if you come down, you got to be able to get back up. Next, you're going to need a resistance band that's in a loop type form. We will go onto hands and knees. So place this band right over the top of your knees and then meet me on hands and knees. All right, so we're going to start with the donkey kick. And what that means is you're going to lift a leg up behind you and you're trying to reach the bottom of the foot to the ceiling. You're using your glutes to do that. You're going to do 10 on one side and 10 on the other. I want you to be as strong through the core as you can. If you don't have a band, it is not a big deal. You can still do the exercise without it. You're just going to be able to get the leg a little bit higher. With the band, you're going to find the leg is not going to go as high, and that's okay, because that's actually keeping you in a little bit better form. Your spine will stay straighter and won't back bend as you're doing the move. Here we go. Nice strong arms, shoulders open, spine long, and then you're going to bring that foot back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel your abs on. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Onto your back. Next, we're going to work the hip flexors. So you're going to bring both knees in as close to your chest as you can go, but don't use your hands, okay? No hands. Then you're going to try to extend one leg away from you. The important part is keeping the knee as close to the other knee as close to your chest as possible without using your hands. So it might look something like this. I'm going to keep my left knee in. My right leg is going to try to push away, down. Maybe I get the heel down towards the floor. I'm trying to push down and away, like I'm doing a bicycle movement, and then bring it in. And then I'm going to switch legs, keep my right leg tucked in, and then slowly move the other one away. If this right leg starts to shift, I've gone too far. I want to really keep it in as tight as I can, and then push the other leg away, still trying to maintain this knee as close as possible. One thing you can do is bend your elbows and give yourself a target with your fingers here. That way you know if your leg is leaving your fingers. If it leaves your fingers, you've gone too far. You've got to keep pulling and driving that knee in to touch your fingers. Here we go. Let's do it together. Gotten one knee in, extend the leg. Hold it in. Return. Switch legs. And then let's go again. Now see if you can do it and relax your shoulders and your neck, right? So we're trying to work the core and the hip flexors, the spine muscles, yet still relax through the arms, shoulders, and neck. Let's do one more round. Nice slow controls. Belly strong. And release. Go ahead and remove your band. Do windshield wipers or any kind of stretch that feels good to you. Nice wide legs and roll. All right, we're going to make our way back up to standing. When you come up, go ahead and grab the weights that fit you best for biceps. So we're going to do 3 sets of curls. The first set is going to be both of your feet right next to each other, standing like a normal human. Then the other 2 sets are going to be in a lunge. That way we work the legs as well. Let's do 8 on each set. So you're going to curl the ball. You're going to curl your weights up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Take a moment break. What you're going to do next is we're going to step into a lunge. I'm going to turn a little to the side. You're going to step 1 foot forward and the other foot back a little bit. Now the back foot, you want to make sure they're not too close together here. You actually want to feel like you're stepping back and slightly out to the side. Then you're going to bend both knees and curl. Your knee bend does not have to be very low. It can be just a little bend, or with each one you can get a little bit lower. Let's go. Curl, bend the knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Take a break, shake out the legs. Setting up for the other side. Your back heel is lifted, so you're working a balance. That way the core is also having to work a little harder. We're going to lower it through the knees. Curl. Push out. 1, 2. When you're pushing yourself back up to standing, you're exhaling. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so next we're going to change out our weights to do a arm raise. So we're going to either do a front arm raise, well, we're going to do both. We're going to do a front arm raise and a lateral raise. If you want to change out your weight to something a little lighter or stay with where you're at, do that now. All right, elbows are going to be a little bit bent. We're going to go forward with a front arm raise and then to the side right away. We're going to do a set of, well, this will be 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll go to 10. Now, if you've got heavy weights, maybe you do a little bit less. Here we go. Soft knees, abs on, shoulders away from the ears, and we lift 1, exhale 2, exhale 3, exhale 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Take break. We'll repeat that one more time. And we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Excellent. We got one more weight exercise. I'm going to change back to my heavier. We're going to do a bent over fly. I'm going to do it with a bent elbow because I'm going to go with a heavier weight, but if you stay with your lighter weights, you can keep a straighter arm. Remember though, when you do these bent over movements, you want your spine to be straight. Therefore, core needs to be strong. And you also want to think that your shoulders are open and wide and away from your ears when you're doing it, whether your arms are bent or straight. Here we go. So knees are soft. Gonna bend over a little bit till you feel like the back starts to work, and then pull your abs strong. You're gonna either bend your elbows or keep them straight. We're gonna do 10 of these. 1, 2, rear flies. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Nice job. And then we'll go again, one more round. Shoulder broad, abs on, and we begin. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You're going to keep one of these weights and we're going to come back down to the floor. So we're going to roll up and we're going to push the weight up over the head. If pushing up over the head doesn't work for you, you can reach the arms forward. So heels onto the ground, knees are bent but almost straight. That way when you do roll down, you're almost laying flat. You're going to roll down and roll up, and then the arms can either reach forward or reach up. When you're doing a sit-up like this, you still want to feel like you've got a long spine. I can roll down and come up and think tall spine to come up will give you more space between your ribs and your hips to make it easier to come up. If you get down and you're trying to round, that's why some people can't sit up, is because they've got too much going, the rib is going too close to their hip and they get stuck. So think of when you do your roll that you're thinking start to peel up and then spine lengthens to come up. Okay, let's do 8 of these. 8, roll down, roll up. You can push up overhead or just reach forward, something with your arms. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Yeah? We're going to stand back up and you're going to need one block. We're going to go back to that one arm push, but we're going to make it more challenging by stepping back into a lunge. So if you put the block into your right hand, you're going to bring it out in front and you're going to push down into your block, right? Don't have it too far out in front of you. You won't have the leverage you need. You want it fairly close where you feel strong. The right foot is going to step back to a lunge and step back in. You're only going to move your right foot. We'll do the left foot on the second set. Now, even though the foot goes back and comes back in, I don't want you to lose leverage on your block. So I could do this all day long with just a fingertip, but it's not the same exercise. When you push into the block, you're going to work your core. I want you to really feel the core work to do your lunge. Now, the lower your hips are, meaning the more your knees are bent, the harder it is because now you're working your quad, your knee, and your glute. All right, we're going to do 4 slow lunges because this is not a speedy exercise. This is controlled. Can you keep the same pressure on your block? All right, so set yourself up. Take a breath in. Exhale and apply that pressure down. And now move your right foot back slow and keep pressure on your block. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to keep the block on the right hand, and now we're going to move the left foot. It is harder on the left side. So if you feel too unstable, just take a little baby step back or get the second block. Get your second block and use both blocks instead of one. I still want you to push down really hard with your block. Here we go. Put all the weight into your right foot, onto that right hand. Step your left foot back. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit different of a exercise with that. All right, let's switch the block now to the left hand. And we're going to start by moving the left leg back. Getting in position, nice good pressure. Step your left foot back. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Shake that out. Now we're going to put the block on the left hand and move the right foot back. Shoulders away, abs on, push down, step back. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good stuff. We'll just shake that out. A little bit like what we started today, just little sways. Maybe even making them a bigger sway side to side. Trying to just loosen that all up. And then turn and twist. And then reaching up and over to the side. And then we'll stay wide and we're going to do a forward fold. You have the option to bring your blocks into play, but maybe you're more warmed up now and can bring your hands to the floor. And then we're going to add that rotation twist. All right, so nice wide stance, soft knees, fingertips or hands come down to the floor. Keep your back long and straight. And then you're going to turn, reach right arm up and switch left arm up. Do that a couple of times. We'll stay low and do a forward fold, getting a deep stretch, so soften those knees so that you can let your head drape way down. And rise back up and shake it about. Okay, so we're going to do some planks. You're going to start at the back of your mat and you're going to inchworm to plank. For those that are more advanced, you're going to do shoulder taps at the end and then you're going to walk your hands back to your feet and rise to stand. You have an optional jumping jack at the end. I'm going to move my weight so I don't jump onto my weight. Inchworm to begin, standing at the back. You're going to try to get your hands flat on the mat. That means if you need to bend your knees, you bend your knees. Hands come flat, and then think walk, even pressure, even walks all the way out to plank. You can modify on the knee, shoulder tap and shoulder tap. Then you're going to lift your knees back up and you're going to walk your hands back. Even tempo, even spacing. You're going to stand up. An option to do a jumping jack, or you can do a half jack, a fake, which is good too. So then you're going to go again. Hands come down, walk it. Shoulder tap, walk it back. And rise up and jumping jack. And we go one more time. Hands come down, walk, plank, shoulder tap, walk it back, and jump. All right, guys, so if you have your ball, we're going to come onto the back and do 2 more exercises, and then you'll be done for the day. So the first exercise we're going to do, we're going to put the ball between the knees. You're going to lie down onto your back. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring the knees in towards the chest. You're going to apply gentle pressure into your ball. Feel your spine straight and long and your shoulders away from your ears. Your arms can be wherever you want them for your comfort. Now you're going to try to bring those knees in. Don't use your hands. And then when you get there, you're going to try to lift your tailbone up a little bit by really trying to bring those knees as far up towards your shoulders as you can. and then you're going to lower the feet back down. The idea is that your ball stays as steady as possible. Let's go again. Pull it in, and then a little bit further. And then lower back down with control. Let's go again. Pulling in. Once you get in, see if you can get a little bit more squeeze out of it. And then lower, slow control. Let's go again. Even though you're doing a lot of squeezing, see if you can keep your shoulders and your neck relaxed. And then lower, slow control. Let's do 2 more. Pull it in. A little bit more. Hold it there. Slowly release. Still without letting go. And 1 more. And pull hard. And release your ball, windshield wiper. And then we're going to go into that very first one we started with the ball, where we're going to put it on the heels and roll it. I usually like to start seated because I think it's just easier, especially if the ball is a small ball, but this is way harder. All right, so without pushing in the ball, we're trying to lift up through the hip flexors. The knees are not going to come in nearly as far, so it's going to take it a little harder for you. Trying to keep steady, feel like it's rolling in a straight line and not snaking or doing an S shape on the way up or down. See if you can keep it out of your hamstrings and make it into the core, hip flexors and thighs. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, guys, let's do a couple stretches. Let's roll up onto one side. Bend your knees up pretty high so you can grab your foot and kick back for a quad stretch. And then release the legs together, spinal twist. Assist your head onto the floor. And then open to your degree. And then roll back onto your side. Let's push yourself up, use your hand, and then switch to the other side. By the way, they say that's how you're supposed to get out of bed as well in the morning, or after lying down, you should roll onto your side and push yourself up. That's what they say. All right, so knees are in, about 90-degree angle from your hip. Grab top ankle, kick back for quad stretch. And then release the legs back, and then support your head on the way down. Head comes down first, and then slowly ease into getting as far as is comfortable. And then roll over onto your side. We're going to come onto the back for a figure 4 stretch. We're going to do it maybe a little bit different than we've done in the past. So we're going to bring the right ankle over the left knee, but we're going to try to bring that foot as high up towards the hip as you can go. So you're going to really try to get it up there without overdoing it. You're going to hold that foot with your left hand and then use your right hand to push the leg away. It can be up at the knee or it can be lower down, and you're going to try to keep that foot as high up towards your hip, not high up toward your knee. And then release, switching sides, crossing that ankle and try to bring it up high. Hold it then with your right hand and then use your left hand to push your leg away. And release. Next, if you're going to bring your knees in, open the knees wide but keep your feet together. Reach the arms down the center, grab for your ankles or your feet, and you're looking to bring your feet with the soles of the feet together towards your belly or your chest. And release. All right, roll on up. That is it for today's Core Focus. We'll see you next time. Whew.